Today is Tuesday, February 9th, and around 11:30 p.m., it's Billy Briz back again with another one of these NBA DFS videos. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter at Getting Bills. All jokes aside, I usually always say follow me over on Twitter at Getting Bills, but currently, man, we're on a straight hot streak. We'll take off the Super Bowl. We don't count the Super Bowl. But other than that, besides the Super Bowl, man, we've been on a complete hot streak. We're just trying to keep it up again. Wish I could say the same thing for NBA DFS, man. I picked Patrick Williams over Kyle Kuzma last night, and that cost me hundreds of dollars. That's gonna haunt me all fucking week. But let's hop right into this slate. We got an 8-game slate for today. First game here is the Brooklyn Nets 7-point favorites over the Detroit Pistons. We're kind of waiting on the injury report for the Nets. Kevin Durant is out. Kyrie is listed as questionable, but kind of leaning towards more probable. I think James Harden has the highest upside from this Nets team and at a lackluster position at the shooting guard position. Kyrie Irving is listed as probable, but doesn't seem like he's going to miss today. But if he does, man, I don't know, man. I don't know how much Kyrie's going to get up for a game against the Detroit Pistons. It's not like the games that we saw last week against the Toronto Raptors and the Los Angeles Clippers, some of the best teams in the league and stuff like that. Like, how much is Kyrie going to get up for a Tuesday night game against the Detroit Pistons? But the stats say yes, because KD is going to be out. That really pops up a guy like Jeff Green and Joe Harris at the bottom of this team. But let's go over to the Pistons side of the ball. The Pistons injury report, DeLon Wright and Wayne Ellington are both listed as questionable, and that's very important on today's slate. DeLon Wright definitely is going to pop today because Derrick Rose just got recently traded to the New York Knicks, so that really leaves out not a lot of point guards and guards for this team in general, the only one really being DeLon Wright. So if DeLon Wright misses, God knows who the point guard is going to be for the Pistons today. So I think if DeLon Wright is listed in, he's going to play a shitload of minutes. I have him hovering around that 32 minutes. Jeremy Grant also as well is going to have to shoulder a higher workload in general. I don't know if I want to get to him on this slate. We'll talk about it as we go through these games. Man, the stud options on this slate tonight is going to be ridiculous. Going down a little bit more, Mason Plumlee also as well, $5,700. He would probably be my favorite run back option on this team. He has had double-digit points and at least 8 rebounds in 6 of his past 7 games. So that's really one to note as well. The Houston Rockets and the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans are 5.5-point favorites. Over under here is 221. Rockets injury report is looking like Christian Wood and Victor Oladipo are out. That really pops up guys like John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Eric Gordon, and Sterling Brown as we go through. John Wall fully rested off the back-to-back on paper. He should smash. The only thing would be the minute ceiling here. I don't know if we'll ever see John Wall play 35 minutes for this week because I don't know, man. They've been kind of limiting his minutes to like 30 max. And sometimes on these big slates like this, I really just want to hammer the people that are going to play a lot of minutes. Even some guys in the mid-range that are cheaper in price that might have less usage kind of will be playing more minutes. We'll talk about it as we go through the slate a little bit more. DeMarcus Cousins on the second half of the back-to-back revenge spot also as well against the Pelicans, his former employer. Very underwhelming performance last night, but as long as Christian Wood is out, DeMarcus Cousins is going to look like one of the best plays on the slate. Eric Gordon also as well sees a huge bump up without Oladipo. He has scored 20 points in each of his last 4 games. And then Sterling Brown has been more productive in all categories. He would be my favorite secondary Rockets player out of all the players on the team. You might see some ancillary Rockets players start today with them being down so many guys. And then on the Pelican side, if I had to run back with one person, it would definitely be Eric Bledsoe in that mid-range, $5,100 and $6,000 over there on DK. More interested on that FanDuel price tag, $1,000 cheaper, and at the shooting guard position, definitely intriguing. Let's head over to the chat real quick before we go over to the next game. Take a sip of this water. What up, Matt P? How you doing today? Big Show pick. Shouts to Big Show for the background. And then we got Boston Nick MMA. Let's go over to this New York and Miami Heat game. Heat are 5.5-point favorites over the Knicks. Over under here is 207, man. This is like a high school basketball over under 207. I want no parts of this game. I wouldn't want to play a player prop in this game. Just cross this game off your slate. Unless you're a Knicks fan, or a Heat fan, I wouldn't have any interest in this game. The only person that, if I had to pick one, gun in my head, I would definitely pick Alex Burks. Alex Burks is actually great now. Is a pretty good value, though, at $4,400 over there on FanDuel. His FanDuel price tag is a lot more appealing than his DK price tag today. He would be the only player that's really popping for me. He's the starting shooting guard of this team. Thibodeau likes to play starters a lot, so that really benefits Alex Burks as well. And then this week, he's coming back from injury, so he should be full go. And then let's go over to this next game, the Warriors versus the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs are 1.5 point favorites. Over under here is 231. That is the second highest total of the board today. Warriors injury reports looking like James Wiseman and Kevin Looney are still out. For the Warriors, that really likes the ones that I really like for the Warriors today, Stephen Curry. He's been embracing like a bigger offensive role since all those injuries have happened. He's been reaching 30 points consistently and shooting at excellent percentages, doing Steph Curry things. Kelly Oubre also as well, my boy Kelly Oubre. He has scored 20 points in 3 out of his last 7 games, and he's been finally getting hot. Man, we've ripped that over 1.5 3-point prop yesterday. That was one of the 2-player props I gave out yesterday, and Kelly Oubre is still at 1.5. But man, you talk about the juice. Yesterday I thought it was pretty badly juiced at -160, but I felt like it was a lock, so I had to play it. But man, his over-under still at 1.5, but at -188 today over there on FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm still going to have to play it, man. I'm going to look at some things, though, for player props. But, man, that -180 is such a big price tag. But if I could pay for it for a UFC fighter, I should be able to pay for it for over 1.5 3-pointers. Kelly Oubre has been absolutely smashing that prop. Dude, he hit that prop in like the first 3 minutes of the game yesterday. Andrew Wiggins also as well. He's coming off his lowest point total of the season, so that's kind of really benefited Kelly Oubre in that last game. So you could kind of see Kelly Oubre's points coming down from 40 points, obviously. But Andrew Wiggins, I think there would be some negative recency bias on him, and I think he's in a good spot today. I had some interest on him yesterday, but I really just got up to Zach LaVine and Bradley Beal in like majority of my lineups. I would say to 80% of my lineups. Going down a little bit more, Spurs injury report, LaMarcus Aldridge. I think he's questionable. I don't know if he's playing or not. I looked at on some other websites, it says questionable, then other websites say out. But that really determines a lot of how we really want to attack the Spurs roster. If Aldridge is out, then that will raise my interest. But if he's in, that kind of lowers my interest on this team overall in general. My favorite one being DeJounte Murray. Even though he kind of had an inflated stat line yesterday, like when I mean an inflated stat line, he's been stuffing the stat sheets of recent. He's coming off a career high 8 steals and was 2 steals away from hitting a triple-double. And the third category would have been steals. That would have been absurd. Keldon Johnson also as well. He's coming off a down game, but before last night, he was on an 11-game straight streak of having double-digit points. So Keldon Johnson, $5,300 over there on FD. Seems like a pretty good option when you have to play 2 small forwards. Shit kind of gets ugly over there on FD sometimes when you got to play 2 of every position. But that's the fun of playing on FD compared to DK where it's positionless. But Lonnie Walker on both websites, doesn't matter at what position. Derek White will be rested today on the second half of the back-to-back. And Walker was rested yesterday, so he's going to play today. Those two are going to flip-flop. And if you look at the price tag of Derek White yesterday, Derek Wright was in the mid 4Ks yesterday, and then we have Lonnie Walker in the low 3Ks today. So that really pops up Lonnie Walker as one of the best value plays of the day, looking at this early on before we get like that 5:30 East Coast news bomb. But I really like him. He's good value today. Going down a little bit more, let's get into these 10 o'clock games. 10 o'clock games are going to be real interesting tonight. We got Boston and the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz are 5.5 point favorites. That's creeping up to 6 in some spots on some books. Over under here is 220.5. Celtics injury reports looking like Jaylen Brown is questionable. Marcus Smart is out. Kind of still waiting on a little bit of confirmation about that. But Kemba Walker, though, really like his price tag, $5,700 and $6,600 over there on DK. Boston scheduled for 4 games this week, and Walker's projected to miss Friday, which would be a second half of the back-to-back. So I kind of want to get my Kemba shares early in the week here, and this is going to be a pretty good spot because once we start talking about the Jazz here, when you look at the Jazz injury report today, Mike Conley is out. So that really changes the Jazz to be more of a kind of a up-paced team with Donovan Mitchell running the point guard position. He's going to be the main ball handler for this team. I have a lot of interest at this price tag. I'm going to be pretty interested to see how the ownership goes today, see if James Harden becomes chalk or not, because if James Harden is chalk and there's not like a chalky shooting guard too, I might just flip out like Donovan Mitchell with one of the guys in the same exact range as Jordan Clarkson, because I think Jordan Clarkson is going to be the highest owned guard today. He should absolutely smash in this spot. He's had multiple three-pointers for 8 consecutive games. It's a pretty crazy stat. And then Joe Ingles also as well. I would say Joe Ingles is only at FD value. He's $4,500 on FD. And then over there on DK, he's $5,800. So that kind of decreases my interest. But he's starting in place of Conley. Risky in minutes, but definitely going to be some low ownership and pretty good player props for Joe Ingles also as well. I'm definitely going to be looking at that one after this video. Orlando versus Portland. Portland 6-point favorites. Over under here is 223. Magic's injury reports looking like Aaron Gordon, Evan Fournier, and MCW are out. That really makes this team a very short-handed team for today. Nikolai Vucevic is the cover boy today. He is my favorite play by a wide margin. I know Cousins is there with no Christian Wood today, but man, Nikolai Vucevic has been, I don't think people have been giving respect to Vucevic so far this year. Through 24 games so far, he's averaging his career best 23.5 points and 11.3 rebounds. Usage is going to go through the roof if you take all those guys off the floor. And then also a guy that I usually don't like to play too much. I'm a fan of the player, but not a fan of his daily fantasy production, is Cole Anthony. I kind of like Cole Anthony today, $5,400 and $5,900 over there in DK in the mid-range option. I love his projection today. Great pace-up spot. Love the game environment. Seems like a really good game stack option. The only bad thing about Cole Anthony is if you're playing over there on FanDuel, those turnovers really rack up, and he's had 14 turnovers over his last 4 games, which is very problematic, but very normal to see out of a rookie. Going up to the NBA, the games just move so much faster, and especially for Cole Anthony, who was playing at a college and high school level for so long. Or if you go over to the Portland side, though, I really love Damian Lillard tonight. One of my favorite late-night hammer options today, $9,800 and $10,000. Man, he's going to absolutely smash in this spot. Not a lot that needs to be said. As long as CJ McCollum's out and Damian Lillard is healthy, we're going to keep on playing Damian Lillard. Just circle him, though, just in case, though, because he has been going through some abdominal pains, and that doesn't seem like a fake injury news report or anything like that. I think he's only playing so many minutes in so many games because CJ McCollum's out and he feels the pressure from the Blazers to make the playoffs this year. But Enes Kanter also as well, $7,200, $7,500 over there on DK. Not in a crazy expensive price tag, but his usage has been going up through the roof. But today's center position and big man position seems really deep today. I would have more interest of Kanter on DK rather than FanDuel. On FanDuel today, I'm really going to focus on 3 centers, and Enes Kanter didn't make the cut on that one. But last game of the night here, Philadelphia 5-point favorites over the Kings. Over under here is 232. Sixers injury report. Everybody's healthy here. Loving Joel Embiid today, $10,500. He's going to come in at cheap ownership because so many people are going to play Nikolai Vucevic, and deservedly so. I think they have the same exact upside, but the only thing that would be different is Joel Embiid's ownership. He's going to come in at really low ownership. He's been having dominating performances, especially last time out. He's had at least 28 points in 8 straight games. First player since Allen Iverson to do that for the Philadelphia 76ers. So that just puts that in a bigger, broad view perspective of how good Joel Embiid's been playing. He's a leading candidate for MVP, in my opinion, so far this year. Stat-wise, him and Jokic are tied back-to-back. Going down a little bit more, Kings are also healthy as well. De'Aaron Fox, $8,600 and $8,800. Hard to pick any secondary pieces from the Kings here. They all kind of grade out pretty well for GPPs, but De'Aaron Fox would definitely by far be my favorite option. I think he's going to come in at low ownership tonight also as well. It's going to be hard to identify the chalk. I think the chalk is good chalk today. I think the chalk options of today's slate is going to be Vucevic, Jordan Clarkson, Cole Anthony, and we'll see how the rest of the day goes, because you know how the NBA goes sometimes. You think you have an idea of what the slate's going to look like, and then 1 to 2 o'clock happens, and then all these injury reports come out, all these health protocol things come out like that. So that can definitely change the landscape of today's slate. But That's why you got to follow NBA Fantasy Labs over on Twitter, as well as me at Getting Bills. That's about it for this video. I'll have some bets later out on my Twitter today. If you want to tail them, make sure you use promo code PubSports on mybookie.ag for a 50% bonus on your cash deposit. Must be a minimum of $99 and 100% bonus on a Bitcoin deposit, minimum of $100. And make sure you check out pubsportsradio.com, visit our shop, because if you like the video and comment below, that is what gets you your raffle ticket for this week. As many comments as you can go throughout the week, that's how many raffle tickets you'll get. If you like the video and comment below, you'll get inside the raffle for a Pup Sports Radio t-shirt provided by me and the Boss Man. Definitely gonna be hitting up Boss Man to get the orders in for that one. So make sure you hit the like and comment section below, and then hit the bell notification so you get notified for all of our videos, especially videos like Connor Mack and Ian Bibano. They go live for college basketball today. Make sure you check that out later on today. I'm Billy Briz. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter at Getting Bills. I'm out. Have a great day. Yeah, big show. I'm going to try to slow up a little bit. I just kind of run through this so quickly sometimes. I don't want to make the video too long and lose shelf life off of it.